What's up, Alabama fans? It's Andrew Bone here with BamaInsider.com. I'm here with a special guest today, recent Alabama commitment, Jalen Milroe from Texas. Jalen, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
Good. I see you wearing the Alabama shirt already.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I hear you, man. Well, let's look back at that decision, that happened on Monday. I think maybe took a lot of people by surprise. What kind of led you to that commitment to Alabama on Monday?
So initially, Alabama was a school that I was definitely considering or really looking at. So that was actually my first visit to go into my junior season. I went down for a visit and I also camped there. So while I camped, that was my first time meeting Coach Sark and Coach Saban up in person. I met Coach Banks through spring ball. He came and visited the school. But I enjoyed the visit while I was down there. I was able to get coached by Coach Sark and Coach Tino, and I enjoyed their coaching style. When I sat down and talked to my parents, I was really considering Alabama at the time, but I wanted to take other visits and see, what they had to offer and wanted to see other programs. But Alabama was definitely a school I was definitely considering at the time. So I wanted to, push back my commitment deadline at the time. But during the time, someone else committed. So that actually, pushed my commitment date and made me, look at other schools. And that was when I was offered by the University of Texas, and I committed. I had a great relationship with Coach Herman and Coach Beck during the time. Mm-hmm. But during the time I was committed to the University of Texas, Alabama respected my commitment to Texas. And from that moment, we built a relationship. We kept communicating. And when I thought about my future, and I felt that Alabama was the place that I could see myself at. And during this time, I definitely been thinking about my future, and was definitely trying to pull the trigger. But the guys that are committed to the University of Texas, I built a great relationship with those guys that are committed now. So that was really the hardest thing, with leaving the University of Texas, was the relationship that I built with those guys. But it was a thought that I wanted to do earlier this week. Before I posted it out, this was a thought that I came across, with my family, and I felt that Alabama was the place I needed to be at.
Now, how long had you been considering a potential flip to Alabama? I know that obviously they've been recruiting you for a long time and really kind of amped it up in the last several months. But has it been something that's been on your mind for a while, or just recently?
So it's been a thought for a long time with flipping to Alabama. It came across around June timeframe when I sat down and talked with Coach Sark and Saban about my future at the program of Alabama. And it was a thought across my mind, and I definitely sat down with my parents and talked to them about what was best for my future and where I could see myself at. And when I sat down with my parents, one thing that we talked about was, if you was to wake up at a university, do you see yourself there? And it came across my mind, and Alabama was definitely a school that I can see myself at. And the relationship that I built with Coach Banks, Coach Tino, Coach Sark, and Coach Saban, they're all been great. And it's grown from when I visited going into my junior year to now. So it's been a thought that I've been had in my mind, but I actually pulled the trigger this week.
Now, I remember talking to you last summer after you camped in Tuscaloosa and spent some time down there, and it came across to me as you were about to commit to Alabama. I mean, you were very. It seemed like in love with Tuscaloosa and all the surroundings and everything. And I felt like you were going to be the guy in Alabama's class, and then they all of a sudden picked up a commitment from Drake May. Last summer, I guess it was around, maybe mid-July. Did that have, were you upset when that happened? Did it really matter at the time? What did you think about, that situation?
I don't think upset was the answer. Just someone, committed before me. So it can't be really upset. They had to do what's best for the program, and he committed first. But it was a school, I was definitely considering about the commit. And he pulled the trigger first, but things work now, and now I'm committed to University of Alabama. So I'm excited now.
Yeah. I don't know if you realize this. A few years ago, there was a guy named Jake Fromm who played at Georgia, who was originally committed to Alabama, ends up decommitting and committing to Georgia. Well, Alabama ends up with Tua. And then last year, Alabama had a commitment from Carson Beck, who also ended up flipping from Alabama to Georgia. Alabama ends up getting Bryce Young.
Wow.
Now this year, they have Drake May committed early, and he ends up flipping to North Carolina, and now you're part of Alabama's class. Now, obviously, Alabama's got some great competition at quarterback, and I've heard this on different message boards, and I'm sure you've heard it too. Everybody keeps saying, well, Jalen ended up decommitting from Texas because of Quinn Ewers committing to Texas over the weekend. Well, I look at it as, well, he also knows that Bryce Young's in Tuscaloosa, and there's other quarterbacks. So clearly you're not scared of any competition at all.
Right.
So just talk about that. Just, coming in and competing in Tuscaloosa, what's your kind of mindset heading in?
Coming in to Alabama, there's a dog that's there right now, 5-star quarterback, Bryce Young. He's a great quarterback. I had a chance to, talk to him after I committed. We talked, and he's a great dude. And I know that going to Alabama, there's going to be great competition, and the best of the best is at Alabama. And every single day you're going to compete against the best. That's the greatest thing about going to University of Alabama. Is every day you're going to get better and have great coaching to top it off. But as far as the quarterback room, they're all great quarterbacks, and I'm just excited, to compete with those guys and learn and grow in the program.
Now, talk about your relationship with Coach Sark. How it's developed over the course of the last year, and the connection that you have with him.
So like I said, earlier when I went to camp and visit, the relationship that I made, prior to coming up to Alabama, but when I first met him firsthand, it was awesome. Relationship that I bought with him, and the relationship was genuine, and it's grown from that point on. But I really do like Coach Sark, the whole quarterback staff, Coach Sark. I really do like the relationship, and his knowledge base. I love to grow as a quarterback. I know I can grow definitely in the Alabama system with Coach Sark. The thing that I've said, in high school, we like to say we try to get 1% better each and every day, or 1-0. Try to figure out a way to get better each and every day. And I definitely can grow in the Alabama system and learn great things from Coach Sark.
Now, 2020 has been a crazy year. A year like we've never experienced before with COVID-19. Kind of how have you developed yourself over the last several months, and what have you been doing to kind of improve your skill set?
So the number one thing that I want, from the last season to this season, is definitely try to find something to get better on. And I broke down, tape, watched last year's tape. So from last year's team, we've had over 30, varsity players that graduated. So this year is important to me to build a relationship with the new guys that will be on the varsity this year. So from the point that the season was over with, I got with the guys that were going to be on the varsity football team, and potential players to move up. I worked out with them every single day, and we're just working my complete game, getting the relationship down with them, the timing on some routes. But as far as quarterbacking, just complete game, identifying coverages, when a corner is lined up this way, what coverage is he in, because, defense can disguise their defenses. And that's important, to figure those things out. So, going to my senior year, I was, practicing for that. And now when it's senior year and I'm on the field, I already know what's going on due to the preparation that I had in my off season. So just finding new things to improve on 1%, trying to get 1% better each and every day.
And tell Alabama fans kind of what do you bring to the table? What's your biggest strengths out there on the field?
I'm a true competitor. I don't like to lose. I try to do everything that's best for the team. I'm a team guy, team before me. I'm a family guy. Forget about me. I love you is important to me. And I'm a true competitor, and I do everything for the team. And there's no one that has his players back like me. I'm going to do everything for the team, and I always put faith first.
Let's talk about your early days of playing football. What got you into playing football? When did you start? How'd you fall in love with it?
Okay. So honestly, growing up, I love, when I was in the store, I see a ball. I see a ball in the store, and I go talk to my parents and like, hey, there's a ball right there. I want to go grab it, And so, they put me in the game of football and sports, because I love, playing with balls and stuff like that. But I actually trained my dad when I was 4 years old, football. And from that moment, we trained mornings, evenings, all day long, training for quarterback. So I played youth ball when I was 6 years old. Turning 6 years old, and then from that moment, I just grew with the love of the game. But I've always been trained by my dad, the quarterback position.
Tell me about your family's, feel about Alabama, after the flip on Monday.
So they were excited, definitely excited. We talked about, what I saw and what they saw, during the recruiting process. And as a family, we felt that what can we do, what can we do to see, the best from our future? And they saw that in the University of Alabama. So, we talked about it, and we were super excited to continue the journey to Alabama. Mm-hmm. And we just love to say Roll Tide.
Now, obviously, Alabama's recruited the state of Texas really well. Have you had an opportunity to, speak to any of the other Texas guys who are committed to Alabama right now, or have you even started recruiting any other guys to join you at Alabama?
Yes, I was able to talk to the guys that live in the state of Texas that are committed to Alabama. Special group of guys that are in the state of Texas that are committed to Alabama. What's important to me is offensive linemen. And we have two of those guys in the state of Texas, and they're brothers. So that's awesome. Center and left tackle, right? And so that's I built the relationship with those guys, and Kendra Blackshear at linebacker. So I've smoked with those guys.
And at Alabama, did they say, all right, these are the other guys in Texas we really need you to go after, or any guys overall in general, throughout the country that they want you to start reaching out to and start calling, or did you know that, already?
So, as a program, you're trying to get the best class in the nation, and offensively and defensively, we're trying to get those guys. But as far as me, I was trying to get, Tamisha. We went to high school. We played youth ball together. High school together. It would be awesome to play together in college and have him on the defense side of the ball. But as far as recruiting, offense, we get the offensive linemen and some receivers and running backs.
Yeah, Tamisha Delier, 5-star defensive end, strongly considering Alabama. Just recently decommitted to Ohio State. How hard are you on him?
Oh yeah, I'm hard on him. Trying to get him over to Alabama.
I hear you. Now, are you trying to graduate early? Is that the plan?
Yes. So okay. I'm trying to enroll to graduate.
Okay, great. And now, what's your current height and weight?
So right now I'm close to hitting 6'3", but I'm a 198 right now.
Okay, good deal. And talk about with COVID and everything, and kind of delaying the season right now. How is it? Has it been frustrating? Are you anxious to get out there on the field? And when will you get to be able to start playing again?
So first, I'm excited that we're on the field right now, practicing with the guys. We was on that quarantine break, and it was hard to find a gym. It was hard to find a field because everything was closed. But so once we saw that stuff was trying to open up, we were able to find some work and get some some work on the grass nearby fields. But it was frustrating at first. We didn't have spring ball. The spring ball was canceled. So that was big for us. Because we had a lot of seniors in last year's team. So we're trying to build our team up, and we weren't able to have spring ball. So we had player-led workouts that were scheduled. I'll text a team out, and we'll go work out at a field nearby, close to us, close to us, and we'll work out there. So it was frustrating at first, trying to figure out, what we're gonna do. Are we gonna have a season? What we're gonna do? So we were able to work out together. So that was awesome. And then the best thing to me was when my receivers were calling me and say, "Hey, when we're gonna go work out?" And because that was the biggest thing for my freshman year, sophomore season, and junior season was, I was texting guys talking about let's go get work, but going transition to my senior year, guys are committed to the program. They're looking to get better, and the best thing was them contacting me and say, "Hey, when we're gonna go work out?" So you can see the commitment level of the guys, and that we're hungry for the season this year. But as far as the COVID deal, we're just taking it day by day. And we, as of right now, we are planning to have a season, so we're going to work hard and try to get 1% better each and every day.
Good deal. Good deal. Tell me, how tough was it to flip? I mean, you were committed to Texas for over a year. Was that tough calling the coaching staff and letting them know about your decision?
It was tough, letting them know. Especially, I was committed for a year now, or in a couple days. But I had to do what was best for me and my future, and I felt that was best, committed to Alabama. The hardest thing was, building up that class and the relationship that I built with those guys that were committed to the University of Texas. It was hard, communicating with them and letting them know that I had to do, what was best for my future. But it was definitely a hard decision to make, but I had to do was, best for me.
Well, how happy were the Alabama coaches when you told them you were ready to flip to them?
Oh, they were super excited. They were super excited.
Well, how do you feel? It's you're heading to Alabama. What goes through your mind when you're thinking about that?
It's definitely a dream come true. Because my ultimate goal was to play at the Division I level. Growing up, I had family friends and family members that played in college. So I grew up, going to college games, watching them play, and now that I'm able to, do that myself, it's super exciting, and none of this would be possible with my Lord and Savior. So I'm just, I'm taking it all in right now, and I'm super excited, to be able to, further my academic and football career at the University of Alabama. It's super exciting, especially playing for a Hall of Fame head coach, Nick Saban, and then, playing for a great offensive coordinator and a great program, Alabama. So it's super exciting, and I'm ready to go.
What stood out to you about Alabama the most? Obviously, great relationship with the coaching staff, and you visited last summer. But what was, kind of that, one or two things that just sold the program to you?
How much they truly care about their players, and the tradition that is built at the University of Alabama, and how they care about the players on and off the field, academically and on the field. That's important to me. And then the family-like environment that they have, because I live in the state of Texas, and then moving to Alabama, it's gonna be a different transition. So finding another place that's home, I thought that was in Alabama. So that's what spoke volumes to me. And then being around a great coaching staff and a great not just football staff, but also the nutrition staff and the medical staff. I've spoken to them, and then our health is important to them. So that spoke volumes to me, and that's what spoke to me.
A few new strength coaches in Tuscaloosa now. Since the last time you were down in Tuscaloosa, have you had an opportunity to speak with those guys?
Yes, I have. Communicated.
What do you think about the new staff?
Awesome, outstanding. Yeah, I'm looking forward to being around them. They're a great staff.
Well, I got a final question for you, and I don't know if you've had an opportunity to look online, watch some film yet, but what do you think about your wide receiver class that you have coming in with you?
I am so excited to throw to those guys. They make the quarterback job so much easier.
And you got an offensive line. That looks pretty special.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it starts up front, and those guys are very important.
Well, good deal, Jalen. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on our Bama Insider
Thanks
YouTube
for having me.
channel. Really excited about, about your decision, Alabama fans. Really excited. There's been a lot of buzz all week long on our recruiting website, on BamaInsider.com, on our YouTube channel, especially on social media. You created such a positive buzz kind of throughout the nation. So congratulations on your decision. We're looking forward to watching you play this upcoming fall. And yes, best of luck to you, and
Thank you.
best of luck to you at Alabama as well.
Thank you.